Don't worry about the language. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome back to another edition of Muzzy Buzz. For those of you that are new here, my name is Mort and I am the host of the Muzzy Buzz show. Before we get started, I gotta remind you, please do hit the subscribe button and hit the bell so you're notified every time I put out new videos, as well as consider becoming a member either on Patreon or by hitting the join button down below, so that way you will have access to exclusive content. Also, this video is sponsored by Arabic Grammar Unlocked, and for any of you out there that are wishing to unlock the secrets of the Arabic grammar, or you're struggling with it and you want a better understanding of the grammar in the Arabic language, be sure to check out the Amazon link down in the description and you will have the opportunity to purchase that book. But you can also go ahead and read the reviews. Great reviews in the book, and people who have been studying the Arabic language but were stuck on the grammar, they were able to purchase the book and they were able to get over that hurdle and get a better understanding of how the grammar of the Arabic language works. So be sure to check out that link down in the description down below. With that being said, we have a different kind of video today, kind of going back to what I've been doing before, aside from the interviews and other things, and keeping it casual with Sheikh Amir. This is a video that is done by Muslim by choice. I'm going to be looking at the video, but I thought it was particularly interesting. And I'm going to link the whole video down in the description box as well too. So if you're interested in watching the whole video, by all means, please do click that link down below. And please go ahead and give that brother some support and subscribe to his channel as well too. But the reason why I'm making this video is because a few days ago, David Wood put out a video saying that Muslims are, in panic mode, and there's going to be an avalanche of Muslims leaving Islam, and somehow trying to credit himself for doing that. But the problem is that I'm seeing it's actually not us that's in panic mode, it's the Christians. The Christians never, or I should say the evangelicals and the Trinitarians on YouTube and in real life, they do not want to talk about the Trinity doctrine anymore. Because every time they talk about the Trinity doctrine, it makes them look silly, and it is indefensible. I mean, I would rather be charged with having to find a way to get to Mars than having to defend the idea of a Trinity. And unfortunately for the Christians, they have to do that. But they know that every time they talk about the Trinity, they just end up looking stupider and dumber and unrealistic and illogical. And so what they've done is they've come up with a new strategy, which is to attack Islam, go on the offensive, on the preemptive, and try to put Islam on the chopping block. They tried many different angles. They tried to push that theory that there are holes in the narrative about the Quran preservation. They tried to push the J. Smith idea that he borrowed from somebody else, that Mecca is in fact in Petra. They tried to bring on fake ex-Muslims. They tried to wear dresses. They tried to eat the Quran. They tried to put on lipstick. They tried to side with atheists who are ex-Muslims who also make fun of the Trinitarian doctrine and religion in general and God, and that also failed. I mean, they have become the most desperate bunch on YouTube, at least from what I can see. And the reason why is because, like I mentioned earlier, defending the Trinitarian doctrine is virtually impossible. And to demonstrate that, I'm going to show you the clip from the video which I mentioned earlier from the brother Muslim by choice, and we'll take a look at what I mean when I say this. So let's go have a look at the video I'm talking about.
Do you say God is triple-minded, yay or nay?
No, I don't know what you mean by triple, because that assumes that God would be a singular person, right?
No, it would assume that the one being of God has three minds, according to you, right?
Yeah, and if you mean by mind, meaning that there are three distinct consciousness relationships, yeah, then in that sense, yes.
So real quickly, what Sam Shimon is admitting is that God has three minds. That means there are three different levels of conscience, or three individual consciousnesses of God. It's essentially like three different personalities in one thing, in one being according to him. If you don't already see the problem with that and how illogical that becomes, especially when you're trying to argue that this is a monotheistic God, right? If you fail to understand why that is problematic, let's continue to listen to Roger Perkins, who talks about why this is illogical. And by the way, Roger Perkins is a Unitarian. So let's see what he has to say about this.
And you kept saying, I believe in a three-minded Godhead. Well, my friend, either you're going to have to believe that, or you got a schizophrenic God at your hand.
The scriptures say over and over and over that God has one mind. And this is always going to be the flaw of Trinitarianism right here, is that you have more than one God, or rather, well, you have that too, but you have more than one mind in God. Numbers 23:19, one mind. Jeremiah 19:5, Jeremiah 32:5 or 32:35, one mind in conjunction with single person pronouns. So the gobbledygook is coming from the Trinitarianism, not from the people that can allow the text to speak for itself. 1 Samuel 15:29. The CSB says, furthermore, the eternal one of Israel does not lie or change his single person pronoun mind. Oh, but God, wait a second. You're really three minds. Didn't you know that? And you're really three eternal ones. Didn't you know that, God? No, because Mr. Shimon and all other Trinitarians has a false God, it's false doctrine. You will find it nowhere in the Word of God. And I'm very thankful to God that he led me out of that. Mr. Shimon.
So essentially here what's going on is you see that Roger Perkins totally destroys the idea that Sam Shimon has about the Trinitarian doctrine and how these three different individual minds, or the idea of three different minds making one mind. He makes the strong case that the Bible, even the Bible, rejects the idea of having three independent minds that are part of this one unique being called God. There's nowhere in the Bible does it support this idea. And again, we see how easily a Trinitarian or a monotheist can easily refute a Trinitarian from within their own books. And now you're beginning to see why Sam Shimon, David Wood, Al-Fadi, Jay Smith, Hatun Tash, any of these people, they don't want to argue the Trinity with the Muslim. He's putting out all challenges. The Quran, prove the Quran says that the Bible is corrupted, blah, blah, blah. Challenge Muhammad, challenge Bukhari, challenge this, challenge the preservation of the Quran narrative, but never a challenge to prove Christianity false. Because he knows he's not going to win that argument. Dr. Shabir Ali has destroyed him numerous times. Muhammad Hijab has destroyed him. I mean, Shabir Ali has destroyed Sam Shimon, has destroyed David Wood. It's not even a joke. I mean, AnsweringChristianity.com has pretty much decimated every argument they've been making over the past 10 years in support of a pagan Trinitarian doctrine. It's a fact. And not only am I saying it, don't take my word, because, I'm the scary bad Muzzy, right? The guy that's going to bring creeping Sharia to America and somehow, hijack something, whatever. Anyways, the point being is that even by Pew Research, I believe it could be 1/3 or 2/3, something like that, of American Christians are no longer believing that Jesus Christ is divine and part of a Trinity. They're abandoning a Trinitarian idea of God because it doesn't make sense. It never has made sense. As a matter of fact, I would argue that majority of the ex-Muslim, ex-Christians that have come to Islam or have left Christianity and joined another religion like Judaism Their number one argument and point of contention has always been around the concept of the Trinity. Nobody can get it. And at the end of the day, the problem is when you don't get it, the Christian answer is always going to be that default answer of, guess what? It's a mystery, and you're never gonna understand it. And that's exactly what it comes down to. And that is unfortunately for the Christians, not what human beings gravitate towards. Especially when it comes to the Creator, we're not going to put our hope in something that we cannot wrap our minds around. Now, we're not talking about understanding the complete nature of God and understanding everything that He does. That's not what we're speaking about. We're speaking about the simple concept about who is God. You know, is God one or is He three? God can never contradict Himself. And in the Torah, we see that God is one. In the Quran, we see that God is one. In the Bible, we never see Jesus claim to be God. We never see this stuff. But for some reason, Trinitarians and evangelicals are hell-bent on trying to make people pagans. And guess what? The world has spoken up. And the world has almost collectively decided that, you know what? Trinitarianism is not working out for us. It doesn't make sense. Because if you can have 3 gods, you can have 4 gods, you can have 5, 6, 7, 8, you can have 300 gods like Hindus or thousands of gods. It doesn't matter. And that's the problem. Christianity can never claim Trinitarianism or Trinitarian Christians can never make the claim that they are monotheist. Because when you start pressing them on this, the holes in their narrative become apparent and there's no justifying it. Right? That's where the problem lies. So instead of having to defend this, let's go on the offensive against Muslims with the hope that something will stick, right? Every day they're putting out videos, new channels, re-uploading old videos, taking old material, putting a new camera, a new speaker, new microphone, making it look pretty and putting it out there with the hope that somebody is going to bite. It's like throwing a bunch of mud on the wall, hoping, you know, something sticks. And unfortunately, the Muslims and Islam are like Teflon. It just slides off. Why? Because defending monotheism is very simple. You can't criticize something when your very foundation is corrupt. And when I say corrupt, I'm obviously referring to the Trinitarian doctrine. So anyways, that's it. I'm going to keep this video short. That's all I have for this video. Make sure to like and subscribe and share this video. Consider becoming a Patreon member or a YouTube member by hitting join down below. And don't forget to check out Arabic Grammar Unlocked, which is referring to obviously a classical text called Al-Ajrumiyya, which is what is used by students of the Arabic language who want to begin to understand the grammar of the Arabic language and to basically get a solid understanding of grammar. And generally that book is taught with a teacher, but in this case, it has been broken down in a very nice format, and the teacher writes it and presents it very beautifully. So please go ahead and check that out. The link is down in the description below. So that is all I have for this short video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.